Most seniors lose mobility as they age. This can increase stiffness, cause pain, loss of functional strength, and an increased risk of falls. And let's face it, it just isn't the look most seniors want. This happens slowly over time, so it sneaks up on you. Have you ever looked at someone walking hunched over and thought, how did they let that happen? In this video, I'll show you a 15-minute mobility routine that is safe for people over the age of 55. This routine will be a great foundation that you could always build from in the future. Mobility and flexibility are oftentimes used interchangeably. However, they are not exactly the same. Flexibility is the ability for your muscles and connective tissues to lengthen, whereas mobility is the ability to control your body through a range of motion. Having better flexibility can help with your mobility, but strength and coordination are also required to tackle the control part. This channel and this video are really aimed to help the person who knows they need to be more active in order to feel good and stay healthy. We're not really targeting the fitness gurus. You know the type, the ones that could probably run a triathlon at the age of 65 and don't have an ounce of body fat. Those types of people are truly incredible and are an inspiration to us average folks. As you'll see in this video, I am not one of those people. My goal is to maintain my cardiovascular health. I want to be strong enough and mobile enough to golf, tackle household tasks, keep up with my kids, and hopefully one day my grandkids, whether that be running around the yard or throwing a football. We're going to start off with our neck and our shoulders. You're going to pinch your shoulder blades back. As you do, you can kind of let your hands open a little bit. As you pinch your shoulder blades back, you're going to tuck your chin and make your head nice and tall. Holding that position with your head, you're going to rotate your neck as far to the side as you can and go back the other way. Relax. Do it again. Pinch your shoulders, open up or externally rotate your arms, turn your head, and both directions. What you'll see is that when I'm turning my head, I'm making a point to keep my chin tucked, and I'm not allowing my eyes or my head to tip up. A good way to test yourself is if there's a mirror 90 degrees to you and you turn, if your eyes are not level, if they're tipped, then you're cocking your head back. But if you turn and your eyes are pretty straight, then you know you're keeping your chin tucked. So do that about a minute. And you can add in a little extra flair here. When you get to the edge, I want you to protrude your chin forward and then pull it back, turn, protrude your chin, pull it back, and relax. When you protrude your chin out, you'll feel these muscles on the side of your neck, the SCMs, you'll feel those get stretched a little bit. So pinch back, turn, protrude your chin, pull it back, and go. It also works a lot on the subcranial spine, or the part of your spine where your upper part of your neck goes right into your head. It also gets that moving, which is really good. Do that a couple minutes, and then relax. The next exercise is called the open book. We're going to do it laying on our side, and you're going to bring your both legs up into the flex position, but the top leg you want to bring a little bit further so it's flexed even more. That's going to keep your hips in a closed position so that your lower back doesn't do the work here, and it's mostly the mobility coming from your thoracic spine or upper back, which is the part of your spine that typically gets stiff with people over the age of 55. You're going to put your hand behind your head, and you're going to start off in the closed book position with your elbows close together. Then you're going to open up, following the elbow with the head as far as you can until you might feel a nice stretch across the ribs or up through the middle upper back. You're going to hold that for a couple seconds and close it. Open it again and go back and forth for 1 minute, closing the book and opening the book. Make sure you breathe during this. Don't hold your breath. We don't want you to turn purple. And keep going. After you've done it 1 minute, rotate around and do the other side. If you're finding this video helpful, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe buttons below. Doing this helps us continue to put out new videos each week for free. Our next exercise are called hip cars, and not the kind that you drive. Stands for controlled articular rotations. I'm going to demonstrate from the side because I think it gives you the best angle. You're going to come up into hip flexing like a march. Now I'm holding on because that's okay. Up, you're going to open the hip, externally rotate, and back down to the starting position. Do that again. Up, open, and I'm trying to keep my front hip closed, or where I was when I started, and down, so that most of that motion is happening with my lead leg. Now once you get the hang of it, I want you to add in the extensions. So come back, open, and around. If you have any kind of catching, pinching pain there, start off small. You don't need to come up very big to start that motion. So depending how stiff your hips are, this might be all you do to start. By doing this every day though, you're going to start to feel yourself open up new ranges of motion. I like to alternate, so I do one forward, open, down, back, open, down, forward, open, down, back, open, down. After you do this about 30 seconds, you're going to start to feel both hips, the right hip and the left hip, start to burn. This is that strength component that comes along with having good mobility. So do this to fatigue, or about 1 minute, whichever comes first. Turn around and do the opposite leg. Next up is Z-sitting. One of my favorites because it's challenging for me, and also you can really feel it opening up your hip mobility in both internal and external rotation. So you can do this in your bed or on your floor. If you have a carpet or something soft, then you can get up and down from your floor comfortably. But you're going to place your hands behind you. Now, the more flexible you are, the more you'll be able to sit up straight. The less flexible you are, the more you can walk your hands back. I fall into the bucket of less flexible. I think I was just born that way. Thanks, Dad. But I'm going to start off back. So Z-sitting is simple. One leg goes into external rotation and one leg goes into internal rotation, making the Z. So I feel this stretch kind of on the back of my hip, and I feel this stretch kind of on the inside and the back of my hip. I'm going to do this. I'm going to feel the stretch for a couple seconds, and then I'm going to alternate them. I'm going to bring this one into external rotation and this one into internal rotation. And you're going to hold it for a couple seconds, and you're just going to go back and forth. Feels good. I don't feel pain. Now, discomfort, yes, I feel stretch. Stretching to some people is uncomfortable, and some people like the pain. As long as you're feeling stretching discomfort and not pinching or stabbing or sharp aching discomfort, then you're going to be fine. Z and switch. This one isn't as challenging as far as strength goes, so you might be able to do this for 2 or 3 minutes before you get tired, but go to fatigue or 3 minutes, whichever comes first. Again, if you sit up straight, you're going to have a little bit harder time. Expert level is doing it without your hands touching at all. Next up are wide stance side lunges, which works the mobility of the hip adductors, which I think are a very often overlooked muscle group. You need something to hold on to be safe. It could be a countertop, the back of a chair, anything works. And you want to go ahead and start off by getting your feet about as wide as you feel comfortable getting them. Once you get there, you want to just kind of do that runner stretch, kind of sink to the side, shifting your body weight from one side to the other. Hold it for a couple seconds and go back the other way. You don't have to bite off more than you can chew in the beginning here. So start off smaller amplitude, and as you start to work, kind of try and get an extra ½ inch or an inch every rep. you start to loosen up a little bit, then you can pause, widen your feet out, and get back into it. After a couple minutes, you're going to feel nice and stretched out. And where I'm feeling this stretch is on the inside of my thighs. You can do this for 2 minutes or until you feel a good fatigue, whichever comes first. Last up, I'm going to show you some supine snow angels. Sounds just like the old-fashioned snow angels you used to do as a kid. You start off laying on your back. Make sure you keep your legs bent, because if you have your legs straight or dropped off the end of the bed, you're going to put a lot of stress on your back. So keep those hips flexed, legs bent, feet flat on the bed or the floor. Start off with your hands over your head, kind of relaxing. You can spend a good 30 seconds in this position just getting your muscles to relax. Because if you notice, you'll be kind of tensed up in the beginning, and really take a couple deep breaths on the way out, relax everything, relax all the muscles in your shoulder and your back, and then start. So you're gonna bring your hands, kind of trying to drag them lightly along the floor or the bed. And as you come down by your side, your hands are gonna flip and you're gonna be palm down, reaching towards your back pockets, keeping your shoulder blades on the table or the floor, and working your way back up. And about halfway, your hands will flip up and you'll continue. As you get over your head, you're gonna feel your arms want to lift off the table. Try and keep your arms flat, elbows, wrists, and hands flat as high as you can get them. And when you feel them lift off, that's when you're gonna stop and turn it around. Go nice and slow, palms down, and repeat. Every time you go, you might get a little further before they start to lift, and back and forth. Do this for a couple minutes. Nice and slow and controlled. None of these exercises should have caused you pain. Stretching discomfort, as I said, is normal and fine, but if you are feeling pain, then try and stop just shy of the pain and avoid the painful moment. Over time, as your mobility improves, you may be able to go through a full range of motion without pain. As always, let me know in the comment section if you have any questions or issues with these exercises. Thank you all so much for watching and supporting this channel. If you found this video helpful, you may also enjoy this recent video. Until next time.